Today we're going to digress about two things: the murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO and the double standards that divide our society. Now, UnitedHealthcare is the largest and most profitable healthcare insurer in the world. It currently ranks 9th on the Fortune 500 list. In the healthcare insurance game, it basically has no competitor. Their yearly revenue is around $37 billion and they have around $300 billion in assets. The company has also spent millions on politicians and lobbying, and not for the right reasons. This is a health insurance company, by the way. Their CEO, the man that was recently shot, made around $10 million a year in compensation. If you're wondering why their CEO was shot, the answer is not a very complex one. Healthcare insurance providers have a very simple job. People buy insurance from them, and when people fall sick or get into an accident, it is the job of the insurance provider to make sure that they are covered. Now, covered here means that they have access to whatever they need to get better, whether it is medicine or surgery. Basically, your insurance provider pays the hospital for whatever you need. Now, paying for what you need means that the insurance company does not get to keep all the money that people give them, and this is where the problems start. By denying people essential surgeries, medicine, or medical equipment that they need to get better or improve their lives, the insurance company gets to keep a large chunk of the money, which essentially becomes profit. Now, this means that the company can pay its executives ridiculously high salaries and bonuses. Meanwhile, little Lucy, who has cancer, is being denied chemotherapy because the insurance company thinks it's an unnecessary procedure. Or maybe it's 55-year-old construction worker Bob who suffers from chronic back pain, but the insurance provider thinks that the surgery to fix it is not essential. Or maybe it's 27-year-old Andrew who needs a BiPAP machine so he does not die in sleep, but insurance says he can live without it. He did not, by the way. Stories like these have plagued the internet all week, and the lack of sympathy from people should not come as a surprise to anyone. People are not showing a lack of sympathy because a random rich person died. They are showing a lack of sympathy because that is exactly what these companies do. They show zero sympathy to their customers. They deny people the life-saving treatment they need. They burden them with debt. They create more stress and problems for people who are already suffering, and they don't do this because this is the only way. They do this because this is the way they have chosen, the way that makes them rich. Another company called Blue Shield Blue Cross decided that paying for anesthesia that surgery patients need is affecting their bottom line. Essentially, they want to pay for a portion of it and make the patient pay for the rest. This basically means that if insurance says you only get 1 hour of anesthesia, but surgery is for 3 hours, then the patient pays for the rest, like a gas pump. I would love to meet the moron who came up with this idea. Like, what do they expect the patient to do when they run out? Bite down on a stick and take a shot of whiskey mid-surgery? The company obviously has decided not to go through with this, not because they thought it was immoral or wrong, but because their executives do not want to get shot. I don't know what these people in charge of these insurance companies think was going to happen. Like, people were just going to stay silent while they were being abused and an Excel sheet was calculating whether it's worth it to save them or keep their money. At some point, someone was going to stand up to the abuse and take action, and that's exactly what has happened. And people that are calling out the lack of sympathy, the mocking of this death as wild behavior, it shows the double standards in our society. Let me explain it to you. You go to a professional network like LinkedIn right now, and you have every executive and C-level chicken nugget claiming how this is tragic and people should be ashamed of their behavior and how they need to show sympathy. Where were they when people were being denied healthcare? Where were they when children were being left to die because insurance companies said no to treatment? Where were they when people had to use GoFundMe to resort to pay for their treatments? Where were they when the CEO who was shot used AI to deny 90% of the claims that were made? Where were they when it was revealed that that very same AI had a very high error rate? Where were they when Blue Cross Blue Shield announced its anesthesia policy? These executives and C-level bananas are going around shouting that this man had a wife and children, So did the millions of people his company denied access to treatment they need. So did the millions that were affected by his decision to institute AI to deny the claims. These people are not going to see their loved ones, and many of their deaths could have been easily avoided had they not been denied the treatment they need. It seems that if you're willing to let people die for your bottom line, then it's absolutely fine. In fact, according to the 1%, it should be accepted as a part of life. So what is the difference here between killing people because of their skin color and the level of their wealth? Or maybe the difference between killing people because of their religion or the level of their wealth? Or maybe the difference between killing people because of their ethnicity and the level of their wealth? It seems that it's okay to commit a genocide if people fall below a certain level of wealth. Are they expendable? Are their lives meaningless? Are they a waste of space and should be discarded? You go around social media right now and the masses have rallied together to share their stories of being abused by a predatory healthcare system, and the so-called 1% are going around sharing stories of how executives need to be protected and how they're disgusted by the behavior of the masses. Where was the disgust when insurance companies were denying healthcare? Where was the disgust when GoFundMe became the go-to source for people to pay for their treatment just so that they could live? This event clearly shows the divide in our society, a manufactured divide, by the way. All that has happened and has been happening could have been easily avoided if we did not let a small group of people decide it's okay to kill people so that they can make more money. It's okay to abuse and overwork people so they can make more money. And for those of you who live in Canada, we have a few politicians right now advocating for private healthcare. Our healthcare system might be slow and broken, but it does not burden us with debt. It does not deny us the care we need. It delays it, yes, but this is a product of bad planning and a lack of support for a system that desperately needs more funding. Instituting private healthcare in Canada will be no different than what is happening with our neighbors down south. There is no "we will do a better job with it." You have to stay vigilant. You have to make sure that they do not corner you into accepting a bad deal. Now, before I let you all go, I just want to point out that we have hit 500 subscribers, 502 actually. So a big thank you to everyone for liking and sharing my videos, and really a big thank you to people who regularly comment on my videos. I am beyond grateful for all of you. I will see you all in the next weekly digression. Take care and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.